So in order to start this game, I have a script called start.m that just has run mastermind written here. And basically when I click run, it's just gonna open the user interface. And the first thing that's gonna show up is the instructions page. So anyone who's not familiar with the game can take a look at the instructions and figure out how to play. And then in order to start the game, you just click the start button here. And then the first slide that opens after the instructions page is the code maker slide. So basically the code maker can select some pegs. If you want to click undo, it just undoes your most recent move. And then maybe that's what I'll do as the code maker. And then you can click go to switch over to the code breaker user interface. And so then the code breaker can just make a guess. And then there are no pegs in common, so I'm not going to click either of these white or black boxes. I'm just going to click go. And then I can make another guess. So maybe that, and you can see that the turn number has updated here. And you can click go. And now there's an orange peg, and that is the right color but in the wrong spot. So you can click white. It updates the counter here. Switch back over to this slide. I'm just going to make another guess. So now there's nothing in common again. So we can go and do that. Now I'm going to guess that maybe there's orange. Okay, so now we have an orange that's placed in the right spot and a red that's placed in the right spot. So then those black pegs show up here. And then maybe I'll do that. And again, now we have two purples that are the right color but wrong spot, and a red that is also right color, wrong spot. And I'm just gonna kind of make some arbitrary guesses here so that it moves along faster. So then once the code breaker has made the maximum of 10 guesses, when they click go, it's just going to return back to this blank screen and the game will start over again. Another way that I've added functionality here is that if you want to restart the game at any point, you can just go ahead and click new game. It will return back to the code maker screen, and all of the elements that have been changed throughout the game will go back to original. So these will become zeros. There's going to be no code here, no code in the opponent's code. And then if you switch back to the code breaker user interface, the current turn will be reset back to 1. And so clicking the new game button just returns to the code maker user interface. So basically, to just go over the elements that I added to this game, there are the different colored pegs that both the code breaker and the code maker use to make their codes. There's also the undo button that undoes the most recent guess. And then if the code maker needs to give any hints to the code breaker, they just use these black and white buttons here, which have counters that update, and then the result of that will appear on the code breaker user interface. So just to go over everything again, there's just the colored pegs that will plot in the space for the code. There's the black and white pegs that the code maker can use to give hints to the code breaker, with updating counters both for the white and the black pegs, as well as the current turn number for the code breaker. There's also an undo button that undoes the most recent peg placement, and the new game button, which resets the whole game and lets the players start over.